All right, you ready?
Yes, but don't do the intro.
God bless, you're kidding me.
I know.
We're just gonna let music roll?
Is the music rolling now?
No.
Oh, okay. When you say ready, I'm going to gauge where it is.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Here we go.
Hi, I'm Peter. And I'm Ketmia. Welcome to the This and That Chat.
You were off.
A lot?
A couple, like 4 seconds.
4 seconds?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It is.
Dang.
So.
You want to redo?
No.
You're fine with it?
Yeah, we can.
You were supposed. See, why didn't you say your name?
Well, what you said you were gonna do it.
I'm doing the intro. Yeah, you do the intro every time, right?
Yeah.
But yet I jump in.
Correct.
So why didn't you say your name? Doesn't it
Because
sort of catch you a little bit off guard?
You know what I'm gonna do now?
Yeah.
Hold on. I have receipts.
No, I said it. I'm saying it myself right now. I said I'm gonna do. Don't do the intro. I'm gonna do it.
All right.
I said that.
Can we try it one more time?
Okay.
Yes.
What? You want to do the intro again?
We'll do the intro one more time.
Why? Bro, no, it's just a question right now.
No, we can do the intro again.
I'm interested why you didn't jump in and say your name. Is it because the timing was off or because you...
Because you said don't do the intro.
Right. So I think this is excellent, okay? Because...
Wait, hold on.
Because...
Wait.
I'm gonna say why.
No.
I feel like
Hold
there's
on.
going to be...
Listen to what you were asking me.
Yeah.
You
Ooh.
asked, your question to me was, why didn't I do the intro?
No. Why didn't you say your name?
Why didn't I say the name?
Yes, your name.
Because you told me not to.
No, well, okay, but that's what I'm saying. This is where you and I understand things differently. And this happens, right? Like, you say something, I say something, and then we understand that the other person understood something completely differently, right? So, for example, do you do the intro every time?
Yes.
And I just like supplement little things, my name,
Yes.
or do a little
This
something with
intro
you.
conversation is in every single episode.
Damn.
That needs to be on
But
the
this is different.
that needs to be on the bingo
That should
card.
have been on the bingo card. But
Just
listen,
kept me a talk about the intro.
I'm sorry. And actually, I wanted to do it myself this time
Okay.
so that there was first of all, me guessing the timing, right? But when I said don't do that's what I meant is I was going to do your part, your intro. Okay. And then you just supplement and you jump in the way I jump in. You understood, don't say anything at all. Do you understand?
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of people would think the same way.
I'm sure a lot of people are going to be divided on that as well. Absolutely. Because it's
either
just
way,
a different way of thinking.
Either way, I have had a request. Right? Not from you, but you would have to do the intro if I would fulfill this request.
Okay.
And I brought it so we can try it out.
Okay.
Okay, so one of the requests was to replace me with a potted plant. So
But you're still here.
should I walk off and just leave the plant?
You should have started like that. You should have just put the plant in your chair. You know, speaking of the intro, hold on. Why? I don't know, actually, if I've ever seen the intro. Oh, because they're both playing at the same time.
Yes.
Are you ever going to change the video so that it's just you on the screen and then me on the screen?
Yes.
Like back. So why don't we do it like that already?
We need a third camera for that.
Why?
Because we need to have that wide angle so that it doesn't.
Because that would have been
it's too much
hilarious if had I started. Hi, I'm Ketmia, and then it would cut to you.
So it would have either
it would have been a potted plant or
some sodium, some salt.
Some salt.
These are the requests.
The requests for you to be replaced with. Anyway, the reason I asked about your name is because
well, I can say my name differently too.
What? Salty Peter?
No, hi, I'm Pigeon Brain.
Are you embracing that now?
I have to. Everyone's changed my name on their phone.
Listen, Listen, I think you encourage it.
It is a little bit encouraged.
I think you encourage it, especially when you're like, I don't care.
It doesn't matter. The thing that's hilarious, though, is how much fun you have with it outside of us sitting here doing our podcast.
In which way?
Well, so you say that I'm embracing it. It's either embrace it or be a salty about it.
Plant.
A salty plant about it. Because honestly, your sisters are relentless.
But why?
Because you guys are vultures.
Okay, but also why?
But just say why.
No, I'm saying like, I think that right there is the problem.
What's that?
You don't understand the why.
Oh, I don't want to understand the why. You guys are in a universe of your own.
When we were little, my mom, we would go to my mom and we would be crying about, somebody was making fun of me or they poked me or whatever, right? And she would say, why are you giving them that? You're crying and you're whining and you're doing all that stuff. You're just telling them they're getting to you. Mm-hmm. Don't care about it. Don't care about it, and they'll stop. Now, mind you,
can I interject?
Obviously, we would listen to this part, and we would keep going because the thing is, we knew deep down they cared. They were pretending not to care.
The wound had been created, and now you were just picking at it.
Correct. So sorry.
All right. Uh-huh. So let me jump in here because I will admit it. I will admit.
Careful what you admit.
Oh no, the admission is what it is.
I'm trying to protect you.
There's nothing to protect. They're gonna make fun of me anyway,
bro.
It's part of the fun, right? Go. Here we go. When I first came into the family, right, they would get under my skin. It was bad.
But you were a different person too.
I understand that, but man, I hated. There was a time limit that I could survive at your house because it was just too much. It was too much. And I think it came a little bit from everywhere in different ways. So I never knew what to defend myself with. Right? So I would get there and I didn't know if I was going to get it from Lee or whether it was going to come from Mel in her own little way. Or
Sal right now is like, don't say me, bro. No, don't say me.
No, Sal was too little.
Yeah,
Sal was too little. She was too little.
Cute.
She was innocent. Ben, forget about it. Ben was the baby. But even Isaac had his.
Do you think so?
Yeah, he had his little things.
I feel like he was little too.
The thing about Ice, the thing about Ice is that I think he
really
felt,
we're just narrowing it down to Leah. I think.
Oh, at the end of it is Leah.
This is where to go.
I know that at the end of it, it's Leah. Mary, not so much, because Mary was.
You see what I'm saying?
Well, hold on. You guys picked on Mary, I think, worse than you guys picked on me.
No, we picked on Sue worse than we picked on Mary.
Yeah.
And then we picked on Mary worse than
if Sue wasn't around?
Then we picked on you. And there was both of them, the middle ones. The little ones were always exempt.
Yeah.
Like Sal and Ben, they were exempt.
It would get under my skin. We would have.
But I would love to show me a child that doesn't pick on another child in a big family. It's normal.
The thing is that in my family, that never was a thing.
But I wonder if it was a thing between the others and not you.
No. I was very much. As I was even when we were older, because after we got married and stuff, and like there was a separation, and like I said a couple episodes back, I don't have a relationship with my sisters. I don't care to have a relationship with my sisters because I just don't feel like they deserve it. Whatever. And I think that I made that like there was a wall there. Then I just kept that wall up because I wasn't gonna deal with it. It just there just wasn't there anything whatever. But all of a sudden, I go into you guys where there's 8 of you, minus the smaller ones, right? Because they're exempt. But man, it was a gang up. It was a
Well,
gang.
and not only that, we're loud. There's a lot going on all the time. I felt that. I felt that going into your family, that there was a stark night and day difference between being in your house with your family, including your parents, and being in my house with my family, where it was always something that we would laugh when somebody was bringing a friend over or a boyfriend over, something like that.
Well,
Because it was like, we're a lot. We're a lot. And the thing is, like, you
always.
said it perfectly. It's coming from every which direction. Everyone understood the assignment. Everyone has a job, and someone's going to be the funny one, and someone's going to be the inquisitive one.
Yep.
But everyone's gathering information so that afterwards we can dissect them like you're in a lab, right? And if you pass, and there was always, do you remember the thing that we would pull, where there was always someone that we would say, oh, be careful with so-and-so, because they're a little unstable, right? And they would act it out.
For
and that's
me,
the thing. Like,
for me, that was Mary.
I think we always chose Mary. Mary always played
Was it
along.
always?
Mary always played along. And here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. I've seen videos that, for me, I have a hard time believing anything I see on the internet. Because not only because of AI, but people do things for the views, okay? And I have a hard time accepting these videos are real. Had someone had a camera for us when we were younger, they would have said this is all set up for the views, okay? But have you come across the videos where it'll be like somebody invited a friend or a family member, and they're doing a video for some submission of something, and then they'll start lying or saying things, and then the other person either is going to be shocked and say, whoa, 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 or they'll play along. We would just randomly, like, Mary's out there, she's fine, she's socializing, and we'd like, sometimes she becomes disturbed, and all of a sudden she'd get really, really quiet. Like, she knew right away, this is what I'm supposed to do. To the point where she would become so believable, especially because people don't know we're joking around. Who would do that?
Listen, as your husband, I believe that you kept it away from me sometimes until I was in on the joke. And then I was like, okay. I think that was like probably like 5 years in.
So funny.
You know something I don't think that we've talked about? I don't think we've talked about how close we lived to each other without knowing each other.
We did on our very first episode. Very first.
Did we?
Yes, because
that was a long time ago.
Maybe not the very first episode. It was the
One
episode.
Of those.
It was right in the beginning when we did the intro of us. It was right around our anniversary. We told the story of us from the beginning. It was a 2-part, remember?
I do remember.
And we talked about everything, how we grew up next to each other and all that stuff, and we just didn't know. Yeah. But
because I was gonna say, like, the fact that you guys are loud, like
you can vouch for that.
Yeah, my cousin lived 3 houses north of where you guys were, and I lived 5 houses south of where you guys were. So when I would go taking that route to my cousin's house or back from my cousin's house, we would go by your house, and there was this ridiculous amount of kids running around the yard, and we always thought that it was a daycare. We thought there was a daycare going on there, and come to find out it's just you guys.
And I find that to be so, it's wild to me. It's wild to me because was it so odd for there to be big families during that time? Because I still remember going to a doctor's appointment with my mom. And when we went to the doctor's appointment, we all would go together. I guess she would schedule everybody at the same time. And I remember going from the parking lot towards the building, and some man rolls down his window and he says, "Are all those kids yours?" Okay. And his next question was, "From the same man?" Okay. Like, family show, family show. Okay. But bro, like, who do you think that you are?
And we're talking 40 years ago.
To just be so rude. Who asked that kind of question? Like, to me,
But
is it
I
like
don't
were
remember-
we the only people? Because see,
I don't
where I
remember
grew
seeing.
up,
I don't remember seeing big families like
but where
that.
we grew up, everyone had a big family. We were, I want to say, the biggest family, but the next one was
Hold on.
6 or 7 kids. But I think there was one with 10.
Bro,
Okay.
I know, but let's be fair.
Yeah.
You guys, the people that were around you, were in
That's
the
what I'm
same
saying.
mindset
So
group
absolutely, but
where
that's what
it
I'm
was
saying.
like,
To me, that was my reality.
Make your quiver.
Make your quiver full.
Make your quiver full.
Yeah. Okay.
Like,
but what I'm saying is that was my reality. So to me, that was completely normal, right? And
wow, hold on,
yeah.
bro, this is wild.
Okay.
My aunt, my dad's sister, has 8 kids. And I didn't think about that till right now. There's a few men.
There's a few men involved.
but
I mean, I was
it
letting
is-
you say that first.
Yeah,
so.
but I'm saying there is. I'm saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. Yeah, that's wild.
So I don't know. To me, that was just weird when people were questioning. And so
9.
even hearing you say you thought it was a daycare, it was like, to me, it's like, why did it have to be a daycare? Why couldn't it just be a family?
Mm-hmm.
But I guess for everyone else, that was not the reality, right? And everybody else had small families. So
but
I lived in a completely different reality than everybody else, apparently.
remember too that you guys had like that privacy fence up. So all you hear a lot of noise going on. You kind of look in and like there's just a lot of commotion going on. So it's just part of that.
So in growing up, I think in a big family, right, you have different personalities that emerge from there for whatever reason. Either because you were the middle child and you had to survive, or you were spoiled because you were the baby. It all molds you into who you were, right? For me, I feel that there is a lot of things that I can reflect back on me being the oldest, like that being a predominant role in shaping my personality, right?
Okay.
And so I think it's interesting because I don't know that we have talked about our personalities really, right? I think people see what they see, and that's one thing that can be very deceptive about being out there presenting yourself on social media, let's say, or YouTube or whatever, right? Is that someone put up our fan Paul, right? He mentioned something about an episode being like, oh, it sounded like it was a cutesy way of you guys arguing, right? And that's the thing, right? Nobody is here to see an actual disagreement, right? Or when it would be a bad time to record a podcast or anything like that, or very heated stances that we take on different things, whatever it is, right? We are only exposing a little bit of ourselves to people, especially now with video.
A little bit and a lot.
Yes.
Because even this morning we talked about that.
Right, but for a lot of people, remember with who's this girl? I Did It Again, Britney Spears, right? Was it her who thought that buffaloes had wings?
No.
Jessica Simpson. I get the two confused.
And Chicken in the Sea.
Chicken in the Sea. Okay. Was she also the one who played like a very ditzy, dumb blonde?
Yes.
But she was not.
I don't know.
Okay. I don't remember who it was that we were talking about that you said gives a persona of being very ditzy and dumb, right? And in fact, she's extremely intelligent. And it was a singer, someone famous that we were talking about. But that's the persona, maybe because it made her a lot of money.
Right.
Maybe that's because people wanted her to be like that. Whatever. She played into that character, right? But for a lot of people that you see online, are they playing it up for the camera? Is it really how they are all the time?
And
we try to be our most authentic self here.
That came up in discussion yesterday. Was it yesterday? Mm-hmm. Where it came up in discussion, like, do we play it up for the cameras? Mm-hmm. And what you see is literally
how we are. It's how we are.
It's how we act. We act like this. Are we a little bit more thoughtful in the way that we're speaking or saying or whatever?
See, family show.
Yeah, like that kind of stuff. Yes, we do have to
edit ourselves.
Some edits because of a platform.
Our listeners,
or whatever, right? But even this morning.
And even subject matters that because this is considered a family podcast that we're not going to broach, right?
But even this morning while I was making breakfast, I don't even remember exactly what it was. Do you remember?
Yes, I do, go. Which is not a subject that you bring up to this.
Oh, we can't.
We can't.
See, that's why.
See, that's the thing.
So we were
this
talking
is the
about
after dark version.
So we were talking about something, and we had a banter back and forth situation where it was just like if we were sitting right now across from each other.
And we actually said that. See, this is exactly what happens in the podcast.
A few weeks back we had our episode where we spent the first 15 minutes going back and forth at each other. This is the
one I'm talking about.
Oh yeah,
the same one. Where he said the
so
cutesy argument.
We go back and forth. We have these arguments, right? That
or
we
disagreements,
have, or disagreements that we have, it's just funny to see.
No, you hang up.
No, you hang up.
That you start shoving each other.
Then at the end, you throw the phone at each other.
Speaking of that, I thought that we could maybe talk a little bit about. Lord. No, I'm saying about our personalities.
Were you gonna go here for real?
Yeah.
For real?
For real.
We did have a conversation right before coming to the podcast.
Which was so perfect, because this is where I feel like you and I are
you probably took it there. Subconsciously, maybe.
I think all roads were leading here. Wow. Do you see that? Also, I do feel I'm very gifted in being able to take a conversation and making it yield to where I want it to go.
Okay.
You understand? So we could have taken the whole conversation about siblings and all that stuff in a completely different place, but this is where it sort of brought us, right?
Isn't that called manipulation?
Manipulation of the conversation, 100%.
Yeah.
That's being a very gifted speaker. So
yes, ma'am.
So how would you describe yourself? Would you say that you are an extrovert or an introvert?
Oh, what's the one that's mixed?
An ambivert?
I'm an ambivert.
All right. Why do you feel like you are an ambivert?
Oh, man. So I feel as though for me, if I get put into a situation where I have to be extroverted, I think I thrive. I'm able to adapt myself into that situation, but I prefer to be introverted.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
That makes 100% sense.
Yeah, so I feel that's why I'm like...
surprisingly enough, you are also the oldest child.
Yeah.
So I'm going to come back around to this. Okay. This is all roads are leading here.
I also feel that, with my jobs that I've had, right, and now with the business, I have to be extroverted. As a store manager, district manager... district supervisor, trainer, all the stuff that I did before in the retail world, I had to be extroverted because I had to have conversations with people. I had to do trainings. I had to
put yourself out there.
I had to put myself out there because that's the only way you're going to get somebody to succeed at what you need them to do is if they buy into what you're selling, right? And then for my business, if I don't speak to somebody with authority and showing that I know what I'm talking about, then they're not going to believe me. They're not going to take my word for it, and it actually will work very much against me.
Of course. And I think about perceptions, right? Because I would say that you and I are exactly the same in that way of thinking, right? Where I can be anything you want me to be, whatever situation you put me in.
You're a
Okay.
chameleon.
But what's the difference between being that and an ambivert? Do you need me to be extroverted
It's
and
different though.
mix and get people together and do a class, speak in front of a crowd? You
Yeah,
need me
I
to do
guess.
all that stuff? I can do it.
But you,
Okay.
but you are much more chameleon than I am. Because
And
my
to me, I
my
feel like it's
person.
the same thing.
Okay, but here's the. Okay,
Why would you
so
say,
here's the
what's
difference.
the difference you see?
Here's the difference. So I don't feel that I change. I don't feel not change. I don't feel that I shift my personality on either side. So as an introvert, I'm still my same personality, and as a extrovert, I'm still the same
You're so right about that.
personality.
You're so right
But
about that.
you change or shift your personality. You are, and I've told you this. I'm like, who are you? Who's this?
And so
who was this person that I just saw?
so true. You're so steady. You're so consistent and you're so constant. It's just about taking you and plucking you from being by yourself, but and putting you in this other thing. You know,
Yeah.
like those magnetic little toys that they sell with different scenes, and then you can move the man and just put him in here, or
Question.
whatever.
The soft ones? Like the soft magnetic ones? Do you remember those as a kid? I just had a memory.
No, I had paper dolls as a kid,
Yeah, I
so
guess. So we had
I don't know.
no, check this out.
Are you talking about felt?
No.
No.
They were. Do you remember the magnets that you would put on the fridge that were like foldable ones? They were like soft magnet.
I do remember.
Like the black,
small
the back
ones.
of it was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
black, whatever, and it had like a sticker
Yeah.
face on it. So we had a board that would be like a little scene, and then you had a box full of these stickers or magnet things, and then you could put them on there, and you can create your
How
scenes.
cool!
And stuff.
I just bought some for the kids, and I don't know if that's what it was like, because I didn't get to physically touch them. But I always found that for myself so much fun. But you can take this person and put them in any scenario, and they are unchanged, but they fit in all scenarios.
Right.
You're so right that that's you. And I feel that it can see someone learning that about me, because I feel that if I had to be made to choose between being introvert and extrovert, and there is no middle ground, you have to choose one side. I'm 100% introvert. Okay. The thing is that I have met introverted people who are incapable of putting themselves in an extroverted space. Okay.
100%.
But I think my job, that I've had, has always put me out in front of people, having to be personable. Okay. And then going back to childhood, being the oldest, right? I felt that there was a huge responsibility on me, maybe self-placed, all right, where I needed to be well spoken. I needed to be out in front, like ahead of the game, on top of things, and that required me to be out there. I couldn't just rely. I didn't have anyone to rely on, because I was the top
You were
of the
at
thing.
the top of the line, yeah.
And this is something that some of my siblings may remember. I'm sure my mom will remember. I remember so much saying how much I wish I had an older sibling. I wanted it so badly. I wanted it because I didn't want to have to be that person, but I felt like I didn't have a choice and I had to be that person.
Right.
And then out in public, right, there was a social expectation, I feel, that was placed on me too, right? Because I was praised. There was a lot of good comments that came from, look at how personable she is, and look at how well spoken she is, and all this stuff. So now I feel that I struggled for many years growing up trying to meet the expectations of other people, right? Until you either do or you don't, right? And now I don't. But for so many years, that was such a burden to me, right? And I felt like, well, this is what people want me to be, so I have to be that. But it was always so ridiculously draining for me. And it always felt like I was having to put on an act, but the act became me. So for a lot of people, I think that that would be something I would be judged on, like, oh, you are not your genuine self when people see you with the ears and with the jokes and the laughter and all that stuff, right? But you get to see my most authentic self. Yeah, and when I am relaxed,
I was going to say, do you know that I feel like I'm one of the very few people that know you for who you are? And here's the crazy part. Every single version is you. It's just what's being pulled out of you depending on the circumstance.
Because everything else has to be muted.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's like that's why I've always, I don't know how long I've said this, but I've said this for a long time. I've told you, you are a chameleon. Because there are, like I said earlier, there are things that I have seen you do, and I'm like, who is this? Like, where did that come from? Because it honestly puts me into like a spot where I'm like, you know, did the aliens come down and switch her and, you know, used her for this moment and then they took her back? Like, where did that come from? And I remember like a specific example where you had to sit in front, I think it was like 150 or 200 people. And you were talking about a new program that was going to come out with your previous job. Something that was going to be implemented or put out there. And you set up, like, you had, I think, even like PowerPoint slides, and you had this whole presentation and this whole thing. And I was just like, whoa, that was pretty cool, because I hadn't seen it before. That was something you had worked on completely independently. And then I sat there for that presentation for the first time as you were sharing it. And I don't remember if I told you right after or if I told someone else, but I was like, that was pretty wild. It was so detailed, but not like exaggerated. It was like to the point, a lot of good information, very well spoken, very well put together. Like, you commanded that room. You had everyone's attention. Nobody was fooling around. And I was like, that was pretty cool.
And that's the thing. Like, that was the feedback I got from a lot of people. You know, you just reminded me of that. I had forgotten about that. But that's the comment that I will hear so much from any situation that is like that, right? It's like, oh my goodness, you made that look so easy. Oh my goodness, you're so good at this. And it's like, thanks, but I've said this. I've said this to people. I was dying inside. And they're like, no. So even in my being honest, people don't even believe my being honest with them is possible. Mm-hmm. And I read something that was pretty wild, and it was saying about all the different roles that you assume in a big family, or, you know, even as being one of three, which you are, right? And you've got tendencies, like the youngest one will have tendencies of entitlement, right? But they also struggle to meet expectation because they're never going to be as good as the older one.
Right.
So there's this always constantly looking up to, I can never be that good, right? So you struggle with that. So there's the struggle and then sort of an entitlement thing going on, right? But for the older one, it's a struggle to survive, which I had never even seen it that way, right?
Why a struggle to survive?
So you adapt because of the expectation that's placed on you by your parents and by others seeing you as the older one. The older one is going to be the one who's told, watch the younger ones when we go out.
Okay.
Responsibilities, you know, behavioral. You're the one who's setting the example for the others. We expect from you.
How much of our siblings' personalities do we attribute to things that we did.
I had never even considered that. Right? Or their want to be with us, right? They're so annoying because they won't leave us alone, but it's because they want to be with us. We're like magnets that draw these people in.
Now that you're saying that, think about it. Your parents are like, be more like your sister. Look at how your brother is. Why are you acting? Look at the dun dun dun. So all of a sudden, in wanting to get approval from the parents, or wanting not to get in trouble or not to get spanked, they're like, I'm just gonna attach myself to the hip over here,
right?
And try and use this as a shield.
And the other thing that it was saying was that you also, like, your parents for the older one are different than the parents for the other kids, right? Because now they've gotten out their first child and they've learned things, so now they become different parents as the kids come. Mm-hmm. And so the parents that they were to your younger one were not the same parents that they were to you. Right? So being a little tyke, right, who doesn't know anything, is being told you're responsible, you need to do this, you need to do that. So it's us trying to find the path of least resistance. And the path of least resistance is just do what you're told. Don't fight. Don't be argumentative.
Was that last episode that we talked about the spanking?
No.
Oh, I'll give you something to cry about.
Oh,
it was one of those episodes. And I had told you, I was like, I figured out my parents. I figured out how not to be in that realm.
And the other ones don't figure it out. They don't. And I always felt so smart. Like, you just need to know X, Y, Z, and you're going to be fine. And then it's like you try to warn them, but no, you don't want to give your secrets away.
Yeah, I shared the story with my guys this week about my mom with the chancleta through the kitchen
archway.
The kitchen archway. My sisters were fighting in front of the TV, and she took off her chancleta and threw it through the opening of the kitchen over the couch and hit one of my sisters over the head with the chancleta. And then made the one that didn't get hit bring the chancleta to my mom. And my mom took the same chancleta and got her again. While I'm sitting on the couch watching Saturday morning cartoons or eating my cereal or whatever it was I was doing, I'm like, I don't want no part of this.
No part of this.
None of this.
But this is what gives you the foundation of who you become later. Right? Because you're just trying to adapt and survive.
Yeah.
Right? So then everyone does it differently, right? Some people, I don't think that it's so much about being well adjusted or not adjusted. It's just what you became and what other things fed into it, right? The type of entertainment that you saw. Did you read a lot of comic books and so you longed to be like that superhero, right? Or did you read and lose yourself in fantasy? So whatever that is, where did you find your escape also feeds into it. The friends that you had, the schooling that you had, like all of that obviously sets that up. What were you going to say?
There's a thought that I had. I think we've had this conversation a couple of times, and then I had this conversation with some other people where they're like, we're in a different generation. Like the kids are learning different. The kids are not like they used to be. They don't have the same drive. They don't have the same everything. Mm-hmm. But let's take us for example, right? We grew up in two very, very different households, and yet there were similarities in both households.
Yeah.
Right, but it was very, very different. And we took a little bit of here, a little bit of here, and we did a little bit of mishmash, and then we did a deviation from that mishmash. And then we did things our way. Mm-hmm. Right? So it was our parents, our grandparents taught our parents, right? They watered it down and created this. And then we took what they taught us and we made our own and mixed them and then watered it down and then pushed it down. So as those generational teachings are going down the line, they've gotten down to our kids. And I think one of the conversation that came up with us was the fact we were talking about the drive to, better themselves or work or the work ethic, that kind of stuff. And we feel that our kids have a tremendous work ethic, but even with their tremendous work ethic, they don't match our work ethic.
Yeah, they don't match that energy.
Right? They don't match that energy.
That 3 jobs, anything you need to do to make it work energy.
Right?
Yes.
And I thought about this. I don't match my dad's energy. Right? Mm-hmm. I know I don't match my dad's energy because even with the business, my dad's energy in the business was he was more of the work, like he was the worker in there. I'm not saying that I don't work, right? And I don't put in the elbow grease, but I'm also a manager. I try to do things a little bit differently where I have employees, I'm going to have them do some of that stuff where I don't need to do some of that stuff. But like for example, if I have a sprinkler pipe that's broken, right? I bring somebody on with me. I'm there with them. I'll get down there. I'll stick my hands in the water. We'll do some stuff. But okay, here is what needs to get fixed. This is how we're going to fix it. Here are the tools that you need. Go ahead and fix it. Right? My dad would be like, bring me all the tools. I'm doing this. And then he would be the one down there doing it. You get the same result, but there's a different mindset. Right? So as those generational jumps are happening over 20, 30, 40, 50 years, we're going to continue to see it's hard for us to compare what it is now to what it is back then.
Sure.
Right? So in that you get different personalities of different kids of different areas. Like nowadays, there's so much that is done digitally, so much that is done,
Well, and that's, I think, something else that we were talking about also is that the pressures that our kids and this generation is facing are different than the pressures that were being faced before, right? Because now there's another element with social media and with just technology in general that's different, that wasn't around back then, where the levels of anxiety I know one day are going to be attributed to this ridiculous pressure that was placed on people who didn't know how to deal with it. There was no instruction. How do you ease into this? It was just there one day, and then you just need to adjust and be part of it, right? And the exhaustion, the overwhelming feelings, the like before, you didn't cry about the fact that your boss was mean to you. And now I need to find another job because for my mental health.
Yeah.
Were we neglecting our mental health before?
100%.
But guess what? There was no avenue for anyone, and I still believe there's still no avenue. There's just been a lot of recognition
there's a lot
of
of
there's
talk
mental
about,
health and you need to take care of you and all stuff, but there are no avenues for that. So what are people supposed to do? Now you shined a light on a big problem that there is, but you haven't given people resources for it. Jobs are not being understanding about it, right? And now you've just shown people the deficiency that they have. And then what? That's terrible.
Yeah, and then you're
That's terrible.
not doing anything with it.
You're not doing it. You're not providing anything. You're not helping anybody with anything, right? Grab a cat, grab a dog, just have something to support you. But your boss still doesn't understand why you're not being dependable.
Yeah, or why you came in and you're not being efficient today. Or whatever. And listen, it's different mindsets. It's different skins. You're able, it's just different. It's very different, and it's very hard. We're in a shift of, what was it that you sent me? The Zennials.
Yeah.
Right? Like you and I are in that space where everything went from analog to digital, right? And there are people in our age group right? In our generation that are holding on tight to that analog world. And then there's some that have fully embraced the digital world. And of course there's always these stray people like, that 93-year-old the guy that he does TikTok because he started messing around with his granddaughter and he loves it, and he goes out there and he does TikTok videos. They're absolutely ridiculous, but it's a 93-year-old guy trying to have a little bit of fun with his granddaughter because that's how he's able to connect with her.
Right.
That's somebody who's embracing, hey, things are changing, so I got to kind of change a little bit, otherwise it doesn't work.
Right.
But there is a really strong line where people sit on one side or sit on the other, and they do not like to cross over. And I feel like another generation down, we're going to maybe start seeing that there's going to be a little bit of that relief because there's a little bit of understanding why things are being done a little bit different. And I think we're already seeing a lot of that happening, like starting to develop as the older generation is moving on. But we're in a weird spot. It really is a weird spot.
Well, I mean, and so this week you and I were talking about the show Cocomelon, right? And how it was designed to, and this is a very watered down version, right? Essentially hypnotize your child.
Yeah, zombify your kids.
With specific things that were put in, scientifically tested to be able to zero out everything else in the world and just focus in on this, right? And how is that any different than what our children have had to experience with everything is about the likes and the videos and the, do I have the approval of other people? People are being mean to me online, not just in person now, right? Now it's online as well. And you have all of this, the doom scrolling for hours and hours. You just lose yourself in this. Social media was designed to make you addicted to it. People go out less and less. The social interactions.
Yeah, the developers of social media, like, they are psychologists. Like, the people who are working on how the app gets updated.
Right,
how
they're consulted.
Bro, these people, their job is to understand how the human mind works, because...
And to make them more profitable at the end of the day. That's what it is.
TikTok, there's Instagram, there's Snapchat, there's Facebook, there's... What else? I think there's 4. Those are the main 4, right? Those are options. And if you talk to people, like, what do you use? Instagram, right? Do you go on Facebook? Do you do Snapchat? Do you use TikTok? No, at all, right? So for me, the majority of what I use is Instagram. Do I have a Facebook? I do have a Facebook because I look at there's specific things that I find on Facebook that I use, but I don't use it. I think
Pinterest is another one that people could consider. Yeah. I do use Pinterest.
But on Facebook, I don't use it as a social media platform. I use it as an information thing because I go, there's the marketplace that's in there, like, to look for things to purchase, and like there are certain aspects of it that I use. But I've gone in there and I've completely deleted everyone. I have no friends.
Because that's not what you're using it for.
Right. But I have it as a platform to be able to go in and use it for what I do use it.
Right.
TikTok, I have it, and I have TikTok because my mom uses TikTok. So she'll send me a video and I can't see it unless I have TikTok. So I have it there, but I don't open TikTok to use it because it just doesn't. And Snapchat, forget about it. That's a mess. I don't get it.
Right. But the point being is that with if Cocomelon, which is just a TV show, right, is causing behavioral issues in children, right, because of whatever the formula has been to engage them, and now you're taking them off of it, and now they're having behavioral issues. The only way to fix it, turn it back on. Fix. Amazing, right? Yep. social media was designed the same way. Take it away and people are feeling like, oh my God, the itch is there. I need it, right? So how has that affected the psyche of our kids, the anxieties of our kids, all of that stuff, right? So to the point where we didn't have to deal with that before, right? Did you grow up with cable?
Yes.
Okay. I grew up with an antenna over the roof.
We had that big old dish that when you go to change the channel in the yard, you would be like, bang.
I grew up having to hold foil paper on the little ends of the antenna with my dad going like this and somebody on the bottom saying, there, stop. Okay. I feel like I grew up in a completely different time. All right. And what were you able to see with that? Local channels. Mm-hmm. That's it. And the TV was turned on for my father only to watch the news, to watch boxing, to watch UFC and soccer. That's it. You were lucky if you got to stay up. Okay. So the amount of exposure, we didn't grow up with a computer. There's so many things that we didn't have where our mental health and our anxiety came from the fact that in the playground, nobody wanted to play with us.
Yeah.
Valid, but that's one layer. We've added so many other layers that now, can our kids match the same energy that we had before? I don't think it's even fair to think that that's possible.
It's not
the same world. It's not the same thing, But one funny thing that did happen is that, and I don't know if you remember, there was somebody that was having a going away party, and we were yet not in our firm no era. Mm-hmm. Okay. We still felt like we had to make an appearance.
We were in the obligation era.
Oh, yes. Okay. And so we decide, listen, we're going to show up for 10 minutes, sit in the back and go, right? Mind you that this is after hours of having to be out in front of people. Social battery for me, gone, right? And I just need to be away from people. So we go. I don't
remember what party you're talking about.
I know. So we go, right? And we walk in as the group activity director, right? Self-proclaimed, has decided that she's going to randomly call on people and they're going to go to the front and say a memory that they have with this person. It was Janice. Okay?
Fantastic.
I
still don't remember which one.
You will.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, this is where I feel that my no era was born. Like, do you know when yours happened? I feel like that's where it came out. And I was like, I like the sound of that. And from there, it never went away. Okay. I can mark the moment. She comes up and she goes, you guys are going next. Not, would you like to? You guys are going next. This is what we're doing. And I said, no, thank you. And she's like, but why not? And I said, because actually, I'm very introverted. And you're putting me on the spot. And her face was one of, you're such a liar. Okay? Introverted. You're not introverted, you're extroverted. And at that moment, I realized, like, you don't even know me. Like, you don't even know me. For you not to know this about me. Mm-hmm. And supposedly you know me, right?
This was a retirement party?
No, they were going away party, moving away. Okay. And you also said, no, thank you. And she was like, yes, you guys are going. She went like one more circle around, and before she came back around, we were gone. We got up and we left. No memories whatsoever.
None.
I'll give you a hint. This one's only for you because we're not saying names.
Okay.
The person that was going away is a couple. Okay. And she had a dream with you.
Oh, God.
Do you remember?
Next subject.
I feel like
next subject.
Your face right
Talk
now
about
is
something
like
else.
the scab sandwich. Oh my God. So there you go. Why do people see a completely non-introverted side is because I'm having a conversation with
a
you.
potted plant.
With you. That's it. That's it. And so that's the...
I even remember who it was that was going around.
Janice?
Yes.
You remember Janice? Isn't it perfect? It's Janice.
It's the only way I'm going to remember her now.
100%. You know?
Wow.
So people are like, wait, they said they're not saying names, but they're saying Janice. Watch The Sopranos, people. If you know who Janice is, that's who it was.
We unraveled after that.
Yeah, I feel like that was for me, it was a defining moment in that moment where not only it was like shocking for me that supposedly this is someone who knows me and you're here telling me I don't know myself, first of all. Okay. And then no, I'm not doing that. I'm not comfortable with that. I don't want to be put in that position. The amount of mental preparation that it takes me to get in front of people, this is where people don't understand. Like, I do it because it's my job to do it. Not anymore. And that's why I'm not putting myself in that position anymore.
We've had conversations like on my way home. There are times where I've told you, hey, I've got to get into the right mindset. Like, you
need to purge the day.
Let me just be in my head. Oh God, what are you doing?
Well, I figured it would be.
Let me finish my thought.
Yeah.
Let me just get into my I can't even do it. Go.
Yeah, finish.
I have to clear my head before coming home. So I'm like, I don't even talk to you. I put on headphones in the truck and I've told my guys to shut up. I'm like, today is not the day.
Today is not the day.
I've got 6 guys plus me in one truck. Everyone's on their phone. Everyone has it on
because you have to drop people off.
Yeah, everyone's on speaker, and it's all of it all mixed together.
Which is extremely inconsiderate. I'm sorry. If it was me, listen, if it was me, I would say you need to wear headphones. I need silence.
They've gotten better. After me telling them a couple times.
I don't want to say this because I don't want to point fingers at you, but it's extremely dangerous for you to be driving with headphones.
I don't put both of them in.
Okay,
I just have one.
Clarify. All right.
And it's not these type of headphones. It's my AirPod.
Right. On one ear. Okay. Anyway.
The one that faces them.
So I have a few questions for us.
Questions.
That I felt we could take turns, like reading one. Like you read one, I'll read one, and we'll answer them.
Questions that you have answers to because you already know the questions?
Well, I haven't thought about the answer. I just chose these questions.
Bro,
because
you should have said, hey, pick some questions, and then I would have come with mine.
I was going to send them to you, and there was 117 questions, and I was like, now you're just going to be scrolling on your phone. You may ask something that is not family friendly because there were non-family friendly questions as well. So I just chose some for people to get to know us a little bit more. All right. So you can look them over if you want.
Okay, but you have the same questions?
The same questions. We're both going to answer the questions.
Oh, okay.
All right. So you don't have to go in order. Just ask whichever one you would like to ask first.
Bro, I just went old people there.
Did you do this? Mm-hmm. Oh. I printed it in large print so I don't have to put on my glasses.
Where are my reading glasses?
All right. Choose one.
All right.
So you read it to me.
I'm choosing one to ask you.
To ask me, I'll answer the question and then you answer the question.
Okay.
All right. So it gives you time to think.
All right. What is your favorite smell?
Oh, very interesting. Wow.
Because I know mine immediately. I don't even have to think about mine.
Wow. So, mind you, I'm struggling because there's 2 smells that immediately came to my mind.
Okay.
All right. But since I have to choose one, I'm going to say fresh cut grass.
Same with me. For me,
this is like our parrot app. Didn't we talk about that too?
So for me, it's a freshly cut baseball field. There's so many memories attached to that.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So before,
see, I'm learning something about you.
Before every single game, the grass would be cut because that's part of the preparation for the field.
But does a grass field for a baseball field smell different than regular grass?
No, it's just that's what you played in.
It triggers that.
The memory. So yeah, and I cut grass every day, so I'm in it all the time.
I don't know. I miss it now because the guy who comes to do our grass cuts it early.
By the time, yeah.
But usually on a Saturday morning, you go out and you smell that. I don't really know why. I love that smell.
Or if our neighbors are listening to this, or on a Saturday night, we've had our neighbor cutting grass at 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
With a lawnmower that has a lamp attached to the front of it.
The only thing we can surmise is that his wife got on his very last nerve about the grass. Well, and he's like, you want me to cut the grass?
Now
I'm going out to cut the grass now.
now the guy who cuts our grass? Because yes.
Oh, yes, it's true.
I have a guy that cuts the grass because I work in that. I'm not doing that when I get home.
You did that in the beginning, remember?
Yeah.
Brutal.
So now the guy who cuts our grass cuts their grass whenever he comes to ours.
So no more night cutting.
Yeah. All right.
Second favorite smell for me was rain.
Rain.
There's a certain smell. Oh my God. Yeah. So good. So good. All right. My question. All right. What does the word okay mean to you?
Oh. For me, it's just simply okay. It doesn't have a lot of depth to it.
And that's the answer I expected from you. Can you believe that?
Yeah. When I say okay, bro, did Bandit just fart? God bless.
Did he?
Yes.
You're getting the word. And why is
he moved?
Don't leave the room.
It's in my throat, bro.
I don't even want to smell. It has not reached me.
Because he threw it here.
It's that bad that you had to say something.
It knocked me out. My eyes hurt.
Bro, what is he doing over there?
He's embarrassed. That is not my favorite smell.
Oh my God. So the word okay just means okay.
It just means okay. It's an acknowledgement of what just happened. Or what was asked.
And I put this question on here because I felt so strongly about it.
Okay.
The word okay, I detest it. I detest it. There's letters, okay? There's bullet points to this. It sounds extremely non-committal. You are not telling me how you feel about it. You are just saying, okay, you may as well have shrugged your shoulders at me. What does that mean? Do you want to do this? Are you just placating me? Why did you say okay? Why don't you say, another one I hate is sure. I feel like I hate sure more than okay now that I say it. But when I say, hey, do you want to do this? Okay. No. Like, actually tell me.
Sure.
Oh, wow. You see? Wow. Yeah, that sounds great. Give me a little more. Like, tell me that you're involved.
Sometimes you don't need more.
That's the problem, though, is that you live a lot.
We're doing this on here?
Huh?
What?
You live a lot in the sort of, it's neither here nor there.
Because it really is neither here nor there.
I know. I hate that. I hate that so much. I want you to be excited about stuff. Or tell me, no, I don't want to do that.
When I need to be excited, I'll be excited.
So, for me, okay means you're not decided and you don't know, oh, so look at him returning back to the scene of the crime Huh. All right. Your turn.
He even went. He wanted me to pet him. Okay, because he knows what he did. All right.
Sounds like you said nils.
Yeah, he knows. He knows what he did.
Sounds like you said nils, though.
I did say nils.
You did say nils.
What's something that you think people would judge you for?
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. I think they would judge my inner thoughts. I think they would judge me for a lot of things. I don't know. I have to deal with people, but I don't prefer people. I also don't prefer animals. I think I get judged a lot for that.
You're saying a lot.
Yeah, I'm saying. You see? See, that's the thing.
Your inner thoughts, they're all coming out.
My inner thoughts are all coming out.
Yeah.
I have a black heart. I think that's
Here, I'll help
plenty
you.
of reasons.
Something that I think people would judge me for. Oh, man. I have a lot of, and this is new for me.
Ooh, I'm loving this already.
I have a lot of, I don't know if I want to say it this way, but I think it's the best way to kind of package it.
Rage. You have a lot of rage.
Keep your inner thoughts to yourself.
Okay, go.
So I have a lot more of, like, my thoughts aren't as conservative anymore when it comes to certain things. So like there's a very strict conservative line where I find myself kind of bendy a little bit on some stuff.
Like Play-Doh.
A little bit like Play-Doh.
A little Play-Doh-y.
A little Play-Doh-y. Yeah?
Yeah.
So I think I feel like I would be judged. There are people in my life that would judge me hard.
I love that you said that, because this is, again, another subject that I wouldn't touch on here, but recently you had a conversation with someone where you made a comment and they immediately fired back with, well, that's a very liberal thing for you to say. And their mindset boggles my mind to no end, because it is so backwards. It is so ignorant.
It's ignorant.
Okay.
It's ignorant.
That I can't stand by you. If that's how, I mean, you, again, and I think we've said this always, you're free to have your own thoughts and your own beliefs and your own things about whatever. But do not come judge me because you're a bigot and you're backwards.
Yep. Your inner thoughts are out again.
Sorry.
Go. Your epidermis is showing.
Wait, was it my turn?
No, now you got to pick one.
Okay. What's the biggest lie you've ever told?
Oh, no.
You can't, I know, but you got to pick another one. You have to pick another one. We can't talk about that one.
But that's the biggest lie I've ever told.
Let's pick a second one.
It's the biggest lie that I've ever told. That isn't the biggest lie I've ever told? It kind of goes down that line. But it's not in that line.
Okay.
No. That's a hard one without going to the biggest lie I've ever told.
Wow. People are like, tell us, Peter. Come on. Something else. Something at work. Something at school. Something with another person.
Yeah.
Maybe you told someone you were sick, but you weren't. Maybe you told someone you were their friend, but you really weren't.
I can't answer this question.
Really? I feel like you're blocked right now.
Well, the thing is that
You are blocked.
So I had immediately gone to my biggest lie. And I was going to share it, but I'm not going to anymore because I feel like your inner thoughts blocked my outer thoughts. Let's just say that my biggest lie pushed me to be my most authentic self. Because it made me have to figure things out.
It made you have to be honest with yourself. Mm-hmm. All right, fine.
I'm going to answer it that way because I can't quite share.
My biggest lie is that I told a person I was a twin.
Bro, that was good.
That was so good.
And then almost got caught.
And I got out of it. I left them so confused. But essentially what happened is that I hate it when people come to you and they just assume that you have to speak Spanish because you live in Miami. It's like, no, you live in the United States and you should be speaking English. That's my personal point of view. So this person that I had encountered, I only spoke to them in English, which, by the way, they could speak English as well. Hard for them, granted, but they could. And they were flustered that I didn't speak to them in Spanish. Then when I ran into them in a completely different setting, a completely different time, because I didn't know them, right?
At a Publix.
It was just a second chance meeting.
At a Publix.
I responded in Spanish, and immediately she was like, I know you. You're the one who said you didn't speak Spanish. That's what she remembered about me. Okay. And I was like, I don't know who you are, which isn't a lie because I really didn't know who she was. And then she kept saying, yes, you came to this place and you know, blah, 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 and all this stuff. And it was for Avon. You remember Avon? When people were selling Tupperware, others were selling Avon. And then what was the other one? The makeup one that people still drive a pink car for.
Oh, Mary Kay.
Mary Kay. Those were the three big ones, right? And I said, oh, you must have met my twin sister, so-and-so. Thankfully, I was alone that day without the kids, so I could just play it off, right? And we had gone, it was a completely different place. So I just happened to be visiting my mom at Publix for something with my mom. And she just like was so confused. She was like, oh. But kind of like she was thinking about it, but like, oh, right? But I feel like that's the biggest lie I told.
Well, here, I'll give you a fun lie.
Bro, you can't do that now after.
Yeah, because this is a fun lie.
Yeah.
So
doesn't have to be a bad lie.
I know, but when I was in grade school, I got caught by the teacher saying the S word.
I've heard this story.
Okay. And I swore up and down that I said ship. Ship.
What the ship?
What the ship?
Oh, ship.
Oh, ship.
Back when that was something that your teacher would even care about.
Listen, I defended myself and I said, I swore on everything that I held precious that it was ship. I think I convinced myself.
Oh my God.
Anyways. All right.
All right.
Is it yours or mine? Mine, right? Yes.
Yes, it's yours.
What is your biggest pet peeve?
I think this is it, actually.
There's one more.
No, there's one more. Gosh. Okay, so I feel like I have general pet peeve, and then I have work pet peeve. And they don't go together.
Pick one. Do general.
General?
Yeah, work sucks.
General pet peeve. People misusing grammar. I feel it irritates my ear. I have to correct it, even if it's internally.
Mm-hmm. And with me, it's external.
External?
Yeah. Yeah, you fixed it with me
Oh,
externally.
yes. Yes. In fact,
I've gotten much better.
I'm going to say something.
Over many, many years of being policed.
And listen, there's a story for another time for that, why I feel like I'm so programmed to be that way. But it bothers me. It bothers me when people say something like, you know, we were at the tattoo shop where this girl walked in and she said something about like, you done gonna do it or something like that. Something like that, right? And it's like, what?
Yeah. It doesn't take. It's not that. It's not that hard.
Why? Right? Why? Also, recently on our channel, I like to read the comments. I'm reading the comments and it misspelled word.
Which I already fixed.
Not from you. I told you about yours. From somebody else. I told you about yours. Oh my God, I'm sorry. And I was like, this is one of those that people misspell a lot, right? It's like wary and weary. I hate hearing people say, I was very weary about him. Yeah, no, you were not very tired about him.
Mine was a autocorrect issue.
As could they be as well. As theirs could be as well. I'm not going to tell them about that misspell, but I do see it and it irks me. What's yours?
My biggest pet peeve: disingenuous people that think that I'm an idiot. So that goes together. If that's
a very good one.
If they act like I'm ignorant to try and like skirt by something, I can't stand it, bro. If you done upped, then own it. Like, I'm not an idiot. I know. Like, I've told this is my guys all the time. Okay? Something broke. I've told my guys a million times. Tell me it broke. We work in a business where things are gonna break.
Just tell me.
Tell me it broke.
Don't treat me like a moron.
I'm not an idiot. Don't tell me that, I don't know what I've done. You know? I would always blame the dog. I just randomly, blame it on the dog. Because it's nobody wants to take responsibility, for something that is obviously been broken by one of my guys, because they're the only ones inside my trailer.
I feel like you're saying a work one.
No, I used an example from work.
Oh, I have to say my work one.
Okay,
I hate it.
Say yours.
I hate it. I hate it.
You done hate it.
I hate it.
You done hate it.
I hate it when people tell me how to do my job.
Oh, yeah, that's horrible.
I hate it.
Yeah.
Not my boss.
Yeah.
Not another fellow worker.
Oh, my goodness. Can I share another one?
Okay.
Don't you know that I have in my family someone who does...
What qualifies you for this job?
I had somebody tell me...
My grandfather read a book on mechanics.
Yeah. I had somebody tell me, okay? I have a cousin who's a doctor.
Oh.
Okay? And I don't believe that injury is going to hold you back from being able to do what you're doing. Really? So because someone else has the schooling and the knowledge, it just intravenously passes
telepathically. Not even
passes on to you? Come on.
Oh my God. But this is another thing about people treating you like you're an idiot. You save the hardest one for last.
Yes.
This one I thought would show how we think. Last question.
All right.
What's the most creative insult you can think of? I thought that was a fun question.
The most creative insult that I can think of. I don't know. Do you have one?
I have one. Yeah.
Okay, go you first.
No,
Go you first, because I'm just gonna be sitting here in silence.
bro. Think.
A creative insult. It would have to be a compliment hidden as a insult.
Exactly. It's creative.
Yeah.
No curse words. Nothing. Just
Okay.
passive progressive. Best commercial, bro. If they could get $1 from me every time I say that.
Yeah.
Mine is just creative. It's not super funny or anything. It's just a creative way of being passive. That's exactly. I think that's what the question's asking for.
Okay.
I would say to someone, don't worry, it's not your fault. Not everyone is gifted with intelligence.
But that's straight up insult.
Bro, but it's not your fault. If you're not gifted, you're not gifted. Is it your fault that you're dumb? They don't know what to do with that. Like, they're like, oh, thanks for being understanding. And now they don't know. Wait, are they even smart enough to know they were just insulted? Are they even smart enough? Tell me yours.
Now I don't know.
What do you mean?
What am I supposed to make up here?
Make something up.
A creative insult?
You know when they're like, as per my last email.
Here's a creative insult. Here's a creative. No, I'm not gonna go there.
See, I do think there's a lot of rage.
I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there because listen. The only thing I can do is continue to never mind. I was gonna do the insult directly at the person to throw it in there, but I already get a lot of grief.
You do.
So
see,
I
where
love
when they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks.
I love all my sisters very much.
You are not the old dog they're talking about.
Yeah. I love my sisters very, very, very much. Even if they can't help themselves from being the people that they are. So we'll leave it there.
What does that even mean? That was weak.
It's very.
Take it back.
No, it's.
Take it back.
I didn't throw anything out.
Take it back.
There's nothing to take back.
Swallow your words.
There's nothing to take back.
Do it. Do it.
I did swallow.
Oh, there you go. All right. So I can manipulate you.
No. Here. Today, you get paper.
Oh, dang. I wanted you to make it into the hole. Let me see if I can do it. Hey! That's where we end the episode. Make it. Bro.
Here, let me try again.
No. I'm not going to catch that. Bro.
It went through the hoop.
See? Loser. What movie?
No. It's
what movie?
Le Who. The Her.
What movie?
Ace Ventura. Come on now.
Was it?
Yes.
Or was it Liar Liar?
No, it's Ace Ventura.
Ding, 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 ding.
Ace Ventura.
Where? Where? What scene?
Bum, 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 bum.
What scene?
Le Who. The Her. It's in... Do you need me to show you the...
No, I believe you. Okay. But I think he did it in Liar Liar too.
No.
All right, folks. This is the end. And it's gone on way too long. Right. How long is the episode?
It is 1 hour and 25 glorious minutes.
Wow. Who is the winner here today?
Of what?
Paper throwing.
There's no winner.
There is a clear winner.
Hold on.
Who won?
Nobody.
Say it.
Nobody. So we are going. The winner here is me because I'm the one who moved the basket to catch.
Oh, remember the camera saw you. The camera
and the
saw
camera
you did
will
not.
see that I did this.
No.
Yes.
All right.
1
Leave
minute,
it in the comments.
1 minute and 1 hour and 25 minutes later.
Goodbye.
This episode is over. Missy, let's go do stuff because it is Sunday and we are going to enjoy the rest of our day. We have dino ribs in the smoker.
Oh my God.
So we're going to eat delicious tonight.
I'm shocked.
For what?
The time.
It's okay.
All right.
All right. Like, subscribe, share, leave comments, do all that stuff. Hope you enjoyed the episode. I had a good time. Did you have a good time? You had a good time? Say it. Say it. Bro. Say it. You're not going to say goodbye? You're just going to stay silent? Completely silent. The moment I hit pause on this, you're going to burst. All right. Goodbye. See you guys next time. Come on. All right. It's over. Bye, guys. See you next. See you. One more time. Goodbye, guys. See you guys next time. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Bye.